I thought our bench really came in and played well for us. Obviously, they turned the game around for us, and they kept it going. We sustained in an attack mode in the second half. We finally managed the game coming down the stretch. Maurice was good, making some big shots. We finally got some rebounds, got him to get one shot and then a stop. So that was critical because Gooden was controlling the game a little bit with some offensive rebounds, some post play. But we finally got a handle on it, and it was a good all-around performance, both offense and defense, and starters. But the bench certainly was the key tonight.
Eddie, when did you decide to shake it up the way you did, and even in terms of your rotation?
Well, I talked about it to the team yesterday, and so we talked about it, and I gave them the reasons why. Talked to each guy privately, and just didn't want to reveal it to Dallas until I had to. So I didn't want it to really be revealed until we had to at the appropriate time.
You said the reasons why. What in your mind were you trying
to change the starting lineup? Well, number one, I thought Elton's played well enough to come back and start. He's been controlling games for us. We've been putting the ball in his hands. He's been a pro. He's been a leader, and Thad has been struggling a little bit. And I wanted a little bit more beef up front. He certainly has it. And then with Drew, I just felt that after we looked at our defense, although our defense with our two starting guards with Lou and with Allen, that we didn't have quite enough defensive presence. Now, people haven't hurt us, but I thought we could give a little bit more defensive presence with Drew as a starter. I just, look, it's always a risk, always a little bit of a gamble when you do something like that. It's very sensitive. Guys take it pretty hard, not starting again. So, the psyche of your team means sometimes more than a rotation,
It seemed Thad responded pretty well there.
I thought they both did. I thought Lou controlled the game. He made some timely play calls, and Drew has to get better at that. Drew didn't get us into the offense as well as Lou did when he came off the bench, and that's part of being a veteran, part of being a starter for as long as he had been. But I thought they both responded well. I thought Maurice responded well, obviously, scoring for us down the stretch and finally getting a hold of some rebounds. So it was a big key. Both ends of the floor was very important for us tonight.
Is that the team's best defensive effort of the year?
I don't know. I'm not that smart. I got to look at the tape again, and really see. Because, you see a lot more when you watch the tape, and we have to get teaching points and evaluate what happened.
Going back to Capone after he had played in 7, you just trying for something different?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been shooting the lights out in practice, and that's part of why you play guys. You reward guys who practice well. Jason Smith had some terrific practices, and and you could tell that when guys don't play in games, they get in game shape. And when you need them, a guy may be dead after 3 minutes. And I thought he got winded a little bit, but you got to get your guys in games. I don't care how much you talk about shortening your rotation and that sort of thing. You got to get your guys in games for a number of reasons. And one is for game shape when you really need them.
It's like your team played with a lot of energy tonight through the whole game.
Well, some of that was the edge coming off the bench, and a little bit of emotional edge of not being starters again. And Lou and Thad especially, and defensively he really carried out his game plan against Dirk. That was as important as anything.
You outscored by 22 points in this game.
Well, yeah, thanks. I didn't do. They did it.
The psyche of, it's sensitive. Can I assume then you'll stay with that lineup for a while?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, look, we're looking at this as a 10-game playoff series before the break, and if you're going to win the playoff series, you got to come out ahead, not breaking even, at least coming out, more wins than losses, and this is how every game. This sort of was like not a playoff atmosphere. It was good to get people in the gym, and watching us. That gave us some more energy too, and it seems like they were pushing us and they were positive and they enjoyed they appreciated what we gave out there on the floor. So that's always helps.
When you see, Allen was scuffling for a lot of the game, and yet you see him diving headlong for that ball when it was on
Yeah, and when he came back in, I think the last 4 minutes, he made some good plays. And he might not show up in the box score, but he ran a pick and roll well enough for Elton to get free on the pop. He got an M1, which when we really, really needed it, sort of took the air out of them. And he stole the ball, I think, up the sideline. I think that was the last 4 minutes. So he did some really good things that probably won't show up. But, when I called him, he knew he had to shut the door on him, and that's what he did.